first of all, quickly, is how to build an effective family structure. That is what we are. Even when they do not want. So I'm done now. So let's go. So I was saying that when Nigerians go abroad, they behave. We always say that when they come back to Nigeria, they don't behave. Why is it so? Because abroad they have a working system. They have a structure that makes them behave. That is what it is. So when they come back to Nigeria, where everything goes, yeah, they do everything. So as a parent, as a visionary parent, one of the very first things you want to do is to put structure in place. Structure will help you build relationship with your children. Structure will help you help your children minimize misbehaviors. So now the very first thing you want to do, because I want this class to be very practical as it can be. I don't want to bore you with long talks. I want it to be practical. Good afternoon, ma. Welcome, ma. So the very first thing you want to do is to sit down as a parent. Now this is why in the Visionary Parent Academy, the first thing we do is to craft our vision, have a parenting vision, have your goals. When you have a vision, you know exactly what you are going to. So the first thing I want you to do is to sit down and ask yourself, what kind of family do I want to have this year? That is it, because you are not just creating random structure. No, you are not just going online to say, oh, someone has a structure. So someone talked about the structure. They said this is how they do their thing. So you want to do it like that? No, you both don't have the same vision for the year or the same vision in your long run parenting. So you want to sit down and ask yourself exactly what do you want. Now this was why the parent that shared her vision with us was actually the parent whose vision I used to create. I used her vision for this class. Okay, this is not it. I'm actually looking for hers because I promise that I'm going to use hers to. Okay, anyways, she actually shared her vision, what she wants, the kind of family she wants, the kind of children she wants for the next 1 year. In the long run, eventually, what she wants from her parenting. Now, this is where it begins from. You need to know exactly what you want. It is what you want that we use to create what you want is your vision. So that is what we use to create your parenting structure. So I'll use hers as a guide for us to create our structure. So now before we jump into creating your family structure, because like I said, your family structure may just be all you need, may just be the very thing you need in your parenting. If your parenting is very chaotic, if it's very dramatic, if every time you are yelling, every time you are smacking, you are doing a lot of drama, what you need, it may just be that you don't have a structure in place. And when you don't have a structure in place, everything and anything goes. So the very first thing you want to do as a parent, you want to sit down and create your structure. Your structure captures everything you need in your parenting. So before we go on, okay, that was network. Network threw me out for a very long time. I'm back now. It's stable now. I had to change my source of network, so it is going to be stable now, hopefully. So I'm going to use this parent own, like I said. Now, before we go into the class proper, my name is Enimien Oruebor, and this is brought to you by the Visionary Parents Academy. The Visionary Parents Academy is an academy where parents come together, where parents who want to improve in their parenting, where parents who have visions, who have goals, they come together, they come and they get empowered every single day. They learn something towards realizing their vision. Like we say, parenting is no longer a kid's play. If it was ever a kid's play, parenting is, we have to be super intentional about our parenting. And in the Visionary Parents Academy, what we do is learn how to be super intentional. We want to actually have a vision. We want to walk the path that leads to our vision. We don't want to wing it. We don't want to assume. We want knowledge. We want skills, practical knowledge and skills to take us from where we are to actually where we want to be, to the children we want to raise. And it is what we do in the Visionary Parents Academy. And this is one of the things we do. We come live and we learn practical ways to actually parent the children we have. Like today is all about creating your family structure. Now, if you have gone through this channel before, if you've been in this channel for a while, you realize that we've talked about structure several times. Now, this is because your parenting structure is very Important in your parenting. If you are a parent, you still have all the drama going on in your parenting. In the morning for your children to wake up and go to school is a drama. You have to yell, you have to nag, you have to do a lot of things. You just realize that you need to sit down and create a proper structure. A structure for your family. When you create a structure for your family, I guarantee you that a lot of the drama you have in your parenting will be greatly minimized. Like I said, I am going to use a parent's goal, her goal, values, vision, everything for us to create the structure. And if you're a visionary parent, what will happen is after this class, you are going to get some templates. You are going to use them to create a template for you to create your structure for your family. And as usual, and like I said, you are going to get the family constitution for you to be able to create your rules, set your expectations, rights and privileges for your family. Now let's go on. Now these parents' core values are love, honesty, resilience, loyalty, responsibility, joy and peace. They are her core values. Now, values are just mere ideas until action is taken, until you are putting them into practicality. That is what you say. That is when you say, oh, you value these things. These things are her values. They are just written. They are just mere ideas. Until she asks them, people see her say, this family is peaceful. You will say, oh, peace is my value. One of our family values. This family is fun-loving. Then they can say, yes, fun-loving is one of our family values. So now what this parent is going to do, the first thing she's going to do is break these things down into everyday behavior. Everyday, because they are ideas. For the children to be able to live by this, they have to be broken down into every single day practice of it. Love is a value you want your family to uphold. What does love mean to your family? What does love mean to your family? What are the practical ways love can be shown in your family? Another thing is honesty. What are the practical ways? What does honesty mean to you? What are the practical ways honesty can be shown in your family? Resilience, the same thing. Loyalty, the same thing. Responsibility, joy, peace, the same thing. What are the practical ways these things can be shown in your family? So as a parent, you need to understand the practical ways these things can be shown in your family. For example, you say, okay, let's say resilience. Resilience simply means that you have the ability or the capacity to bounce back when things happen, because things will always happen. So when things happen, when things don't go your way, when events happen, you have the capacity to bounce back. So as a parent, that resilience is one of your values. What do you want to do for your child for you to be able to nurture resilience? Your child needs to have things that will happen to them and they will be able to bounce back, because a lot of these values, they are not just in the same. No, when we talk about things, they're not necessarily like a lot of character skills our children need to thrive. They are not. It's not like you teach them. It's not like teaching per se. It's like pointing them, having them realize, okay, these things are essential. Now, the most important thing is children being able to have practice opportunities. Now, this is what parents don't allow most of the time. This is what children don't have most of the time. They don't have opportunities to practice these things. For example, a parent tells you that, oh, I want my children to be resilient. To be resilient, it means something must happen and your child must learn to bounce back. If you tell your child that, okay, when life throws lemons at you, you make lemonades. You don't let them crush, you make lemonades. It simply means that your child will have that idea. Now, when things happen to your child is actually able to, life happens to your child rather, your child is actually able to make lemonades, instead of letting him or her be crushed. Your child will have faith. Your child will believe in that you're saying. I don't know if you are getting my point. Let me know that you are getting my point. Your child will have faith and your child will believe in that you're saying that, oh, when life throws lemons at you, you can make beautiful lemonades out of it. So as a parent, so what do you want to do? You are creating your structure. You have to put that into consideration. Opportunities for my life to be able to, and for my child to be able to build or to practice making lemons making lemonades out of lemons. So in structuring your home, look at your environment. How do you think your child can begin to practice resilience? One way your child can begin to practice resilience is when you assign chores. You assign chores, they struggle with it, they feel, oh, it's too difficult, I can't do it. That is them. Now begin to sit back and say, okay, because for your child to be able to make lemonades out of lemons, they have to sit down and think, problem solve. Okay, something has happened this way, it wasn't what I expected, I don't like it, what am I going to do about it? Am I going to sit down and be broken by it, or I am actually going to take my lessons and run with it? Taking your lessons and making life out of your lessons is making lemonades out of lemons, right? So your child is going to have the opportunity. Your child is going to have that opportunity. So you are going to like say, okay, for this, my child is going to have a chore. Maybe age appropriate chore. Maybe I'm going to allow my child to do certain things. Maybe when my child, there is something going on in school, there's an event going on in school, a competition, I'm going to allow my child try. And when my child goes for that competition, he or she doesn't do well, he comes back, you are going to have something. No, when he comes back, you are going to have a system that what happens when they come back? What happens is, because I want them to be able to make lemons out of lemonades, when they come back, we are going to talk about it. What did you learn from it? Okay, how can you do better next time? Taking your lessons. I'm going to make sure that I encourage him not to sit down and start brooding over it. Rather, he will take his lessons and try again next time. Now, I want to make sure that, okay, because I want him to take lessons and try again next time, I am not going to criticize him, I am not going to judge him, I am not going to condemn him. Are you getting the picture? We're talking about structure. We're using this parent's values now to create our structure. So we are going to make sure that, okay, he's not criticized, he's not judged, he's not condemned. Rather, all we need to do is just to help him understand what went wrong and what he can do better. Take lessons and apply it next time. That is making lemonades out of lemons. So he has siblings. So it simply means that if the siblings are aware of his struggles, they may mock him, they may laugh at him. So we have to put something in place for siblings not to mock other siblings when they fall short. That is creating a structure around the value of resilience. So now you want to have things like, because there's a lot of video on structure on this. I think we have about 2-3 videos on structure in this channel. That is why I'm not going into defining structures and all of that. But at this point now, we have to define structure. Structure simply means the way you have structured your home to run. Sit down and look at yourself, and sit down and look at yourself inwardly, and ask yourself, how do I want my home to run? What are the things I want in my home? How do I want my home to be? Oh, my children are always laughing. They are always happy. When things happen outside, they come back to me, they share with me. I want a situation whereby they are able to open up to me completely, always share things with me. Feel free to share things with me. I want my children to be able to bold and tell me, hey, this is not what it's supposed to be. This is how it's supposed to be. I want them to be able to make strong, independent decisions on their own. Now, these are the things that you can structure into the different aspects of your family. So now, when you are creating a structure, there are so many different aspects of your family that you want to put together. For example, like I said, these parents want the children to be resilient. If you want your child to be resilient, then one, your child needs practical activities, stop talking so much. Oh, whatever that means, Gregory Adams, whatever that means. Okay, so you want a child to be resilient. It simply means that, okay, you have to put activities in place. You have to give your child the opportunities to practice resilience. Now, another thing is that your child has to have feedback. Your child has to know that, okay, mistakes are a part of life. And they learn that because of the way you are going to respond to opportunities they have to practice resilience. So you have to put such things in place like communication. How do you communicate? How do you take failures in your family? How should siblings relate with each other when they are struggling? These are practical things you put on ground to foster, to rather nurture resilience in your children. If you are getting, yes, someone said give them opportunities to practice resilience. Absolutely. Thank you so much, ma. So now these are things you put in place. Remember, you want them to be resilient, so they have to practice. Now, when they practice and they fail at it, what do you do with that their mistake? What do you do with that their state? We impact resilience, not just you, everyone around you. If you have domestic staff around you, your spouse around you, extended relatives around you, your children around you. So what you want to do is, because you want to nurture resilience, you have to put a structure in place to guide how people communicate, how people respond to the failed attempts of others, and how much opportunities your children have to actually attempt. Are you getting it? We are going deeper. Sorry, we'll go more practical as I progress. Now, this is it. So this is the parents. Now the vision is, her vision is, I want to be a fun and loving parent who will support my children to be the best version of themselves. Fantastic. So this is the parent's vision for herself. This is the kind of parent she wants to be, a fun and loving parent. So you are going to put things in place. What does fun mean to you? What fun means to you may not be what fun means to me. What does fun mean to you? How do you support your children? You have to put this in place. You have to put things in place. Fun. Okay, is it playing games all the time together with my children? Is it being so open, having an open door where they can come in, we can have fun, we can laugh, they can ask questions, I can always guide them, I am the first person they come and meet? You want to think about all these things you want to put together. Now, those parents, I don't want to talk about her strength, there's no point. Her weakness is yelling, losing patience, and all of that, not having quality time with them. Now, for yelling, now this is why we have emotional intelligence class. We are going to begin in the month of February. For every member of the Visionary Parents Academy, it is free. If you are not in the Visionary Parents Academy, you want to register for that course just for a token. You can join us in the academy for one whole month. After the month, if you choose to continue with us, you can continue with us. If you choose not to continue with us, you can discontinue with us just for one whole month, and you are going to learn to master your emotions. When we get to our emotions mastery class, this parent is actually going to understand this. Now, for now, one of the things this parent also wants to do, they want to create a structure around how they respond to their children. So the first thing the parent wants to understand is triggers. What are these things that actually make me, she said, yell? Where is it? She said she wants to stop losing her patience and she wants to stop yelling. So what are these things that make me lose my patience with my children? What are these things that make me yell? The truth of the matter is, if you want to wait for your child to do these things before you respond to them, there is every likelihood that you are not going to be able to regulate yourself. You are not going to be in charge of your emotions. Have you seen people when they are quarreling outside, no matter how much you try to stop them, they are not able to stop. You know why? Because they have reached that level of anger. When you have crossed that red zone, you have reached that place. Sometimes it's so, pride comes in, a lot of factors come in, you are not just able to put a pause to it and stop. Now, this is why for this parent, what this parent needs to do is to identify, is to create a structure, understand her triggers and create a structure around it. Okay, these are the things that my children do that really make me lose my patience. These are the things they do that make me yell at them. Now, I do not want to yell at them. I do not want to lose my patience with them again. What am I going to do? She's going to note those things. After noting those things, let's say I get back from school, the house is all dirty, I don't like it. Or let's say when I tell them go and do something the first time, they don't do it, it gets me angry. Let's say I see them, they're always watching television, it gets me angry. Let's say, okay, let me give you another example. I had someone say, oh, my daughter, each time she cooks, the food burns. The food burns so much because the food burns. If the food doesn't burn, she doesn't stop cooking. And when I got to enter further, I realized that each time she's cooking, she's watching television. So each time she's cooking, Each time she cooks and the food burns, the parents are angry, the mom is angry, the dad is angry. So that is a trigger. You don't have to wait for her to cook and the food burns before you respond to it. You have to create a structure around it. Your structure will help you take care of that behavior. So you understand, okay, each time she cooks, the food burns, fix it. Why? So when I got in there, I realized that okay, when she's cooking, she's watching television, or now that she's a grown girl, she has a phone. When she's cooking, she's pressing her phone, and before she knows what is happening, she doesn't know that the food is burning. So it's almost like there is no single day she cooks that the food doesn't burn. So you want to realize, you want to find out, okay, what are the things that make me lose my patience? What are the things that actually make me yell? You create a structure around them. We are going to talk about that later. So the other one, this parent has two children. One of them, she says, I want my first child to learn to be polite, truthful, empathic, and engage more in house chores. For the second child, she wants the other child to learn to be honest, kind, empathic, and spend more time doing what is it called? Hands-on activities. Fantastic. Now these are the things the parent need. They are the needs of these children. Remember when I started, I said you cannot just go and pick somebody has a structure elsewhere. You cannot just go and pick it. No, you need to understand, you as a parent, your own needs. You need to understand your children's needs. You need to understand your factors. You need to understand your vision. Now these are the needs of this parent. So what is she going to do? She's going to create a structure around communication so that the children can learn to be more polite. She's going to create a structure around honesty, being truthful. She's going to create a structure around communication, also include empathy, like understanding how a person is feeling. Let me give you a practical example of how that means. One of the things I did with my children was tell them that, see, when something happens to someone, we have a rule in my house that says that when someone is distressed, someone is in pain, no matter what the person has done, no matter what you are doing, one of the very first things you do is leave whatever you are doing and run and go and see. You ask them, are they hurt? Then get help for them. After that, before you can come and ask them what happened, then when the person is okay, if you want to blame the person for what happened, that is fine. But the very first thing you want to do is to understand that that person is in pain, and what that person needs is help and not criticism. It's not time to say, is that not wanting to stop running? You didn't listen, we're still running, good for you. No. You teach them. That's the very first thing you want to do. You want to put yourself in that person's shoes. If you are in pain, how would you want someone to talk to you? So you want to create that system, that structure where your children understand how to relate to someone in situations. Okay, that said, so she said that let's talk about the second child. You want the second child to create time for creative activities or hands-on activities. So you want to sit down and ask yourself, okay, why do you first of all want your child to learn hands-on, be hands-on? You get that away from the picture. Then why is your child not hands-on? What are the factors stopping your child? Remember I said for the other parents that the child was always burning food. I had to look into it and I realized that each time she was cooking, she was always either on the television or on the phone. That was why she was burning food. Though for this child, why does the child not have time for creative activities? So it simply means that this child is always engaged, has other things, because nobody really enjoys sitting down and just not doing nothing. I've never seen anyone who enjoys sitting down. There is always something, maybe they are singing, they are drawing, they are just, except maybe it's time for reflection. Especially young children, it's hard for a young child to sit down and not do anything. They are watching television, they are playing game. There's something they're always doing, they're always playing. There's something they're always doing. So you actually want to see, okay, what occupies him? What occupies him? Can you break it down into get occupied 8 to 9, get occupied with your hands-on. You can create a structure around every single thing you want your child to learn or you want your child to grow in. Okay, let me see if I have something else here. You say learn how to understand. Okay, her goals for the children to learn how to understand their emotions and label them. That is fantastic. What she needs to do as a parent is to constantly, she can create a structure around that too, have a time for reflection. You can give your children a journal, record how you feel all of the time. Teach them about emotions. There are different emotions. You have envy, you have sadness, you have happiness or joy, you have a lot of the emotions, anger, frustration, a lot of the emotions. So understand how you feel per time. Teach them that, see, all these emotions you have, they are very normal, super, super normal. However, these emotions are a communication. Sadness simply means there's something missing. So if there's something missing, what are you going to do? This is why problem solving is something we must teach our children all of the time. Problem solving is something we cannot take away from our parenting. We must always teach our children. You tell your child, okay, sadness is a communication. Different emotions are communications. Frustration is communicating that, okay, things are not going your way. Things are not going your way. You are frustrated. Things are not the way you want them to be. So now you now teach your children, how do you respond when things are not going your way? The first thing you want to do is to be able to take a break so that you can think through. You are not happy, you are sad. It means something is missing, right? If you are not thinking through, you are not pausing to think through, you are not going to be able to figure out how to solve it. You are envious of someone. It simply means, okay, someone has something or someone is somewhere that you desire to be. It simply means that you are not where you want to be. So if you are not able to think and problem solve, you are not going to be able to actually solve that particular use that emotion properly, because every emotion is good. Every emotion has their good side and their bad side. So if you allow the good side, if you take advantage of the good side, you are going to record success in life. But if you don't take advantage of the good side, you are going to be destroyed. It is why we see people out of envy, they do things they're not supposed to do. Out of anger, they do things they're not supposed to do. Out of sadness, they slide into depression. So you are going to be able to take a break, sit down and process your emotions. So create a structure around that. Let's see if there are more. So we also have academic. So we want the child to learn how to study other materials that are not schoolwork, which means we want the child to be able to expand their knowledge, right? So instead of not all the time schoolwork, it simply means for very many children, if they are not doing test or exam, they are not studying. If they are not doing test or exam, they're not reading. They have no business with books, except it has to do with school. Now, these parents want the child to be able to love reading and study books that are not necessarily school book. What is she going to do? She's going to create a structure around this. We are going to go down later to creating a practical structure. The other one, he said he wants this child to be able to build discipline, study pattern, through his learn and reward himself system. Okay, she will basically want this child to be disciplined and create a study pattern. She's also going to create a structure. These things are all going to be factored into the structure. Now we have collaboration, good communication. He wants them to choose their friends wisely and a lot of things. He wants them to also grow spiritually. She wants them to be leaders and lead themselves and grow their executive functioning skills and a lot of them. Now, these are the things this parent wants. These are the things that this parent actually want for the child. Like I said, all these things can be structured. Now, these are the things that as a parent that you are going to put together to create your own family structure. Bearing in mind that these are the things you want, you are going to have a family structure. Now, before you have a family structure, first thing you want to do is to take all those things and should I say segment them, put them into different segments, like academics, hands-on, creativity, self-discipline, character skills, and all of that. You put them into segments. You get the behaviors. For example, academics. If you want your child to excel in academics, it simply means that your child will have to put in more effort in the academics, right? They'll put in more effort in the academic, which means you're going to create time for your child to study extra and find out, studying extra, what other things can they do to excel in the academics. You can check this breakdown, yes, thank you so much. You can check this channel. We have how to help a struggling learner. You are going to get resource from there. Okay, let me go on to now. These are the things for the parents that you want, this particular parent. Now these are the things she wants her children, her goals, her visions for her family. So what does she want to do? Everybody, there are people who are able to navigate these things seamlessly, not so seamlessly, but at least with a lot more ease than those parents. And these same people have 24 hours. Now these same parents also has 24 hours. Now the first thing this parent wants to do now is to sit down and look at, these are the things I want to achieve for my family. So what are the things against them? What are the factors working against this? Why are these things, why am I not able to achieve these things? It is very important that from time to time we reflect. Now this is why in the Visionary Parent Academy, one of the things we do every Sunday is to sit down and reflect on our parenting all week. When you reflect, you ask yourself, where did I struggle? So that area you struggled in your parenting, you want to set goals for next week. The areas you struggles are the areas you want to deliberately set your goals for the next week. The same thing these parents want to do. Now, this is it for me and my children. These are the things I want for my children. So why have I not been able to achieve this? You need to be sincere. You need to be frank with yourself. When it comes to parenting, sometimes it is tough. Something decisions you make, your children don't like it, but they do not have to like it. They don't like it now. They're going to like it later in the future. I saw a video not too long ago. A girl was actually thanking her parents that now she knows better, that when she was much younger, her parents didn't allow her to do a lot of the things her friends' parents allowed them to do. For example, she didn't get everything she wanted. For example, she couldn't go on sleepovers like her friends' parents allowed them to go on sleepovers. I think there were times they didn't drive her to school. She had to walk to school. There were times her friends were allowed to come. Her friends usually would come late to school. They could walk into school anytime they liked, but her parents made sure she got to school early. These were some of the things that her parents didn't allow her to do, and she thought, oh my God, her parents were mean. Her house was not as fun as her friend's house. Her parents were just being unreasonable. She always thought like that. But now that she's grown, she has seen how much those things actually helped her. She has realized that not allowing her go for sleepovers were because her parents fear that she may be hurt, she may be raped, or something may happen to her, and that would traumatize her for a long time. And of course, she knew a few people who actually experienced that and how they are still struggling today. Her parents saved us from that. She knew waking up early was for her to learn self-discipline, for her to learn punctuality. Her parents saved her from all the time she'll be struggling to manage her time now. All the money she'll be investing on time management now. Her parents saved her from it a long time ago. Now she sees her children, her friends, some of her friends back then, how they struggle with basic skills that their parents did not, that their parents just did not nurture in them as a result of indulging them. And today she's happy. The same thing. Remember, your child just has a few years to be with you. And if you say, oh, you want to prioritize their happiness, I want my child to be happy. So because of that, you are not creating the structure you are supposed to create. You are not doing the things you are supposed to do. Because what makes structure effective is your consistency. Is you being able to be consistent. Is you being able to be consistent. A structure actually means something that is kind of there permanent, something that is sacrosanct, something that is there. It is non-negotiable. That is a structure. Now, this is why before you create a structure, you need to sit down and understand exactly what you want, your vision, what you want, your needs, your child needs, your factors. I said this at the beginning of the video. So if you're just joining me, you want to go back and watch the beginning of the video. You need to understand your needs, your child needs, the factors around you, your vision. Those are the things you need to understand. Why? So that when something has to be a yes, it has to be a yes. It is not even negotiable. Because it has to be a yes. Now, it is not just impulsive. Let me explain exactly what I mean. If you don't have you have not put into considerations all the things I just mentioned in creating your structure. It could be something like your child tells you, oh mommy, can I have your child just wakes up in the morning or something, or your child is hungry, instead of your child to eat, it tells you, mommy, can I have this? Because you are in a good mood, you say have it. Tomorrow when your child comes, mommy, can I have it? Because you're in a bad mood, you say don't have it. So your child will not even understand boundaries. They will not know when to ask you or when not to ask you. They just feel you are the boss. So you give them anytime you like, which is actually true. So the days you really don't want to give your child, they will not understand. No matter how you try to explain to them, they will not understand. They will insist, they will throw tantrums, they will do all sorts of manners because you have never been consistent. And you are not consistent actually because you don't even know what you want. You don't have your vision clear, you don't understand the needs of your child, you don't understand your needs as a parent, you don't have the factors. Let me give you another one. Like a parent, you say, oh, I saw somebody, they take their child out for a football practice every Saturday morning. Okay, I will also take my child out for a football practice every Saturday morning. You are not thinking of your reality, the factors. Is it convenient for me? Okay, maybe day one, you took your child out for a football practice. Day two, you are not able to take your child out for a football practice because maybe you have work, maybe you have something that when you now look at it, that thing is that impresses more than taking your child for a football practice. At the end of the day, you are not able to be consistent. So, and one of the things you do when you are not consistent as a parent is you are also teaching your child not to be consistent. And guess what? Consistency is a skill. Consistency is a skill that we must learn and we must push our children. One success ingredient I have seen is consistency. People who, before I tell myself, oh, I'm putting so much, I'm getting so little in what I do, I always ask myself, am I consistent? And I realize that when I am not consistent, there is no magic to it. Our children must learn to be consistent. And if we cannot be consistent, we cannot model consistency to them. We cannot show them the value of consistency. So structure is consistency. Now, let me give you another practical example. You see, in so many developed countries, they have street lights, for example. So when you break they have street cameras. So when you break a rule, what happens? The camera captures you. So they will come and call you, or what language did I use? You will go in for it. Because they have a camera that captures you, it becomes easy for them to be super consistent. Anytime you break a rule, they are going to break traffic rule, they are always going to catch you. That is it. But come to a country like Nigeria, there are rules like don't break traffic rule. For example, I just got a notification in my community that nobody throws when you are driving, you don't throw things through the windows and all of that. I bet you people will still do it. 100 people will do it and they will still get away with it. And the more they do it and get away with it, the more they are encouraged to do it. Because there is no consistency. There is no structure without consistency. You cannot say, oh, I have a structure. You are not consistent. No. It simply means that you are doing the opposite of what you want to do. Your structure is porous. Like you want to build a boundary. You build a house, right? You want to build a fence to say, okay, this is where this house is going to pass. So I want to mark where my land stops so that people will not just come and pass anyhow. And your fence is so low. What happens? People will still come and pass. Because your fence can even be, you're not living in a place that is waterlogged and there's water everywhere. They will just climb the fence and pass. You know why? Because your structure is porous. The same thing happens to parenting. If you have a structure, you are not, what makes a structure in parenting is not a building, is the consistency of it. When you are consistent in it, that becomes a structure. It sends the message home. Now, this is where parents fail it. They cannot be consistent. They struggle to be consistent. They react on mood, on emotions, on how they are feeling, on the event. In your parenting, your mood should not dictate what happens. The events around, things around should not necessarily dictate what happens. You should have a structure that aligns with your goals, with your vision, with your values, that will promote it. Things cannot just be random. They cannot be consistent. That is how you build the message of trust to your children. That is how you send the message of I am serious to your children. That is how you send the message of this is a must. This is it to your children. Let me share something. For example, as a parent, honesty, like this parent said, honesty is something that is super, super important to you as a parent. You want to raise honest children. It simply means every single thing. When your children are young, there are no white lies. There is no no. It's either a yes or a no. When they are young, there are no grays. There are no shades of grays. It has to be black or white. I shared something on Facebook one time, and somebody said there are always shades of gray. I said, when your shades of grays, when your children are young, there are no shades of grays because you are confusing them. Life has a way of happening. As they grow older, they begin to understand. You are not the one that will tell them to try to be diplomatic. You are not the ones that will tell them, okay, try to be subtle in your approach. You are not the one that will tell them, oh, you don't just need to be blunt, and make it land softly. Softly. They will learn these things as they grow older. Life will teach them. However, when they are young, there are no shades. You just yes or no. And as a parent, you can't have a structure and you are not part of it now. You have a house. Are you not inside the house? So if you have rules, if you have regulations, if you have expectations, you must be part of it. You are subject to it. You are modeling it constantly. Okay, so let me go to the types of structure you should create in your home. For example, I actually thought I opened that. Let me check my quick guide, my random samples. Oopsie. I want to share with you the types of different structures you can create at home. If you are a Visionary Parent Academy, you are going to get this. You are going to get this. Sure, you are going to have it and use it. But if you are not in the Visionary Parent Academy, you are also going to get my parenting structure guide. You are going to get my parenting structure guide so that you can use it to create your structure. And if you are not in the Visionary Parent Academy, you just listen to me, you come and join us and get it, or you listen to me and take all the things you need to take. You come back and watch this video over and over again. So the very first thing you want to do, you have to have a daily routine for your children. Routine. This parent wants to raise resilient children. This parent wants to raise responsible children. This parent wants to raise disciplined children. So you have to have a daily routine for your children. You want to have disciplined children. First off, your children need to have a wake-up time. Disciplined children, they have to know when to wake up, and when to wake up determines when to go to bed. Like I said to parents, you just don't go and guess these things. You sit down, you calculate it, and remember, you are going to carry your children along. You don't have a choice, you must carry them along, because understanding the why of it makes it easy for children to be on the same page with you. So every single thing in creating your structure, you have to sit down by yourself and understand the why of it. Note the why of it and pass the why of it to your children. You are going to have a daily routine. If your children go to bed anytime and wake up anytime, you are going to tell them, no, you need to be going to bed early. So, for example, you want to teach your children self-discipline. You want them to be disciplined and responsible people. And they go to school late. Nah, you are not teaching that. So the first thing you want to do is, you are going to be going to school early. School time is 7 o'clock. You are going to be going to school 7 o'clock. You are going to be getting to school 7 o'clock. Okay, from my house to school, how long do we walk? How long do we drive? We drive for 5 minutes. We walk for like 20 minutes. Fantastic. If we walk for 20 minutes, it simply means that we're going to be leaving the house 6:40. If we drive for 5 minutes, it simply means that we're going to be leaving the house 6:55, right? Because you need to get to school 7:30. Now, if you are going to be waking up, if you are going to be leaving the house 6:55, it means we have things we do in the morning. You are going to wake up, fix your bed, brush your teeth, prepare your breakfast. If your kids are preteens and things already, prepare your breakfast, do your chores, yeah, do a few things. So you may need like up to 1 hour to do these things. So if you need bathe, dress and all of that, say your prayers, say your affirmation, plan, write your to-do list. If you need 1 hour to do these things and you need to leave the house 7 o'clock, it simply means that you have to wake up 6 o'clock every day. Now, for you to wake up 6 o'clock as a growing child, there is a required number of hours you are supposed to sleep for so that you can be okay physically and mentally. So what does this mean? Let's say you need to sleep for 10 hours. So it simply means that if you want to wake up 8 o'clock every day, you need to go to bed by, sorry, if you want to wake up 6 o'clock every day, it means you need to go to bed by 8 o'clock. You sit down and help your children calculate this. When we have calculated it, okay, we are leaving the school for house, we are leaving the house for school 7 o'clock every day. We need 1 hour to prepare. It simply means we need to wake up 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock. We prepare from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock. That if we can prepare from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock, then we can leave the house. We can leave the house 7 o'clock. So if we need to wake up 6 o'clock, we need to have our those appropriate sleep dose, which is 10 hours. We need to go to bed 8 o'clock. Your children understand this. So you go to your daily routine, you write it for them. Wake up time is 6 o'clock. Now, you can now go further to say, okay, wake up time is 6 o'clock, time to arrange the bed is 5 o'clock, say your prayer, time to arrange the bed is 5 minutes, say your prayers 5 minutes to 10 minutes, do your chores 5 minutes, bathe 5 minutes, dress up 5 minutes, have a small family time in the morning, 5 minutes. Just break it down. One of the things you can do for your children is, if they are still very small, they don't have a sense of time, you can set alarm. Thank God alarm is very easy. You can just take your phone, set alarm for the different times. If you check my phone for my children, even though they've grown past the time of this alarm, because they can now understand what they are supposed to do and all of that. They've been doing it for a long time, so they are used to it. But we still have the alarm because sometimes they are playing and they get carried away. So in them you can see them 5 o'clock they wake up, 5:30, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and all of that. They wake up, they get prepared, and the alarm rings. When the alarm rings, you see some of them running to say, oh, what's the alarm saying? The alarm is saying bedtime. Okay, oh, I've not finished making my bed. Bedtime is already here. I need to just hurry up so that I still can spend my 5 minutes bathing. So you give them all that morning routine. Then you break it into morning routine, into afternoon routine, into evening routine. That is their dailies. So for example, as a parent, you actually want your children, like the parent that says she wants her child to study more. Okay, let's leave that for now. We'll talk about that shortly. So you have your daily routine. Like I said, if you're in the Visionary Parent Academy, you're going to get this. You have your daily routine. As a parent, you also need to have your daily plans, your daily routine, because you need to be able to have time for your children every day. If you don't have your daily routine, you may not be able to have time for your children every day. You need to be able to understand, okay, at this time of the day, I need to spend 15 minutes with my children every day. So these 15 minutes, I'm going to take it out from in the evening before bedtime. You also need to be able to plan your day. Excuse me. So in the planner, you are going to have your plan as a parent. You're going to have your afternoon routine, evening routine. You are going to have my space and my space structure. Now, this is what kids. I shared something in the Visionary Parent Academy group this morning. I said there was a time a parent shared in the group that her kids are always, she had 2 bubbling boys. They're always all over the place, running, playing. And most of the time, they pull down things and spoil things. And her husband will always blame her for not being able to make them not do that. So I said, one of the recommendations I gave the woman was, you need to create a structure. Now for young children, I always say to parents, see, you have young children, you are complaining. I remember a parent reached me one time that the daughter is always destroying things. The daughter about 2 years, always destroying things. Like I said, okay, like what did she destroy? She said she put her makeup kit on her dressing mirror. The daughter, she got back, the daughter just pulled it down, bring them out, all her eyeshadow palettes, everything was just mixed together. Is what we are talking about. You have young children, your things have no place being on the ground. We also see it on Facebook. You see a parent post a picture of a girl, of a small child who has used butter to rub themselves or has wasted the baby's milk or something. Your items have no business being on the ground. If they must be on the ground, then they must be in a lockable space. I know that there are some parents, they don't have a lot of space. Get a big bag, lock them inside. There's a place for everything because you have young children. I have a friend of mine. He just got a laptop, and I told him that your laptop, go and lock it in a place. Get a drawer, a lockable drawer for your laptop, so that you are not beating your child for being curious. Now, this is what we do. Parents, we don't take responsibility for our actions. Instead, we beat our children for our own negligence, for our own shortcoming. We beat them for trying to be children. A 3-year-old is naturally curious. Now, if the child is an extra curious child, don't beat that curiosity away from the child. Is that curiosity that will make the child to understand, okay, why does this blender, why does it take 20 minutes to grind tomatoes? Why can't I just press it and it just grinds it once? I press it once and it grinds, And the child begins to say, okay. And if you allow the child to develop that curiosity, they grow up and they begin to say, okay, I have an automatic blender, just put it and crush it and it goes, and it all comes out. They grow with it. But we don't allow it. Is that curiosity that will make the child say, why is it that when sometimes light goes off, sometimes light comes off, why can't light just be permanent? Is that curiosity that will make the child wants to know? But because we are negligent, we are careless, we beat that curiosity away from them because we are looking for who to blame for our carelessness. So I told these parents, please, as you have bought a laptop, go and buy a lockable cupboard so that you can always put your laptop there, lock it and go with the key. Or better still, get a bag, a very good bag, hang it where the child's hand cannot reach. Put your laptop inside, hang it somewhere. Well, someone once told me that when in those days he had a house, the house was infested with rats. So what he used to do, each time he goes to bed, he will take his pot of rice, he will cook rice, he will take his pot of rice, tie rope here, tie rope here, he will hang it on the ceiling. So there will be the rat will not be able to come and eat his rice there. He will hang it there and leave it open. So the rat they will not be able to eat his rice, So maybe rat cannot, I don't know. Anyways, that is it. Go and put it where your child cannot see. Because you leave it where they can easily see. Because they are curious. That is what they do. They don't go to work. They don't earn money. They don't drive big cars. They don't have, their own hustle is to understand how things around them work. It is why they will take knife and attempt to cut themselves. Why this knife can cut this apple? So let me see what else this knife can cut. They are curious. And what we do, because we are not skilled or because we are lazy or we are negligent, then we will now be killing that curiosity in them. So what you want to do is to create a space. Your child is very energetic. Create an adult space. That is structure. You know that, okay, when your child comes back from school, your child, like some people, when their children come back from school, the first thing they are doing, they are sleeping. Talking about temperament, prediction in children. They are sleeping. Some, when they come back from school, that they didn't play a lot, they want to play. So you know that is your child. Some, when they come back from school, they are itchy. Their body itches, they want to bathe. While some that you have trained with television, when they come back from school, they want to watch television. So what do? If you have a child that when they come back from school, all they want to do is to play, easy. You have an adult there where they can play. The energy that built up in school as a result of sitting in one place is okay. Go outside. Go and play it off. Go and play it out. That is it. Create a structure. There's a place for everything. Parents, you come back from school, your shoes are littered everywhere. Create a shoe rack. Create a place. There's a place for you to put your shoes. There's a place for you to put your clothes. There's a place for you to put your laundry clothes. That is called space structure. Create a place. It is where we have hospitals, where we have schools. People that want to learn, they don't go to the hospital. There's no, things are not done randomly. You don't see people gathered in one place at the center of the road and they are learning. Roads are for vehicles to pass and people and pedestrians to pass, right? So create a space structure in your house. There's a place for every single thing. Every single thing, there should be a place. Your child should not have to guess where to put things. There should be a place, a structure for everything. I hope that is clear. Then here we have our safety rule. If you have it in the Visionary Parent Academy, you can talk about it. You can ask questions, and if you have anyone you don't understand, we'll take you through. I don't want this to be too long. Then it's already getting long. We have our moral rules in the home, and consistency is the key. What do you mean by moral rules? You have it in your house. You have your healthy habits. Now remember, you have to teach this to your children. You have your healthy habits. What are your healthy habits? Create a routine around them. For example, like I always say, I want my children to be healthy. And I've done a little research, and one of the things they say, okay, wake up in the morning, first you drink hot water, give them fruit all the time and all of that. So those are in your structure. You know, the children understand. So I wake up in the morning, I tell my kids, okay, a glass of warm water for everyone. We are doing it repeatedly. It becomes a routine, and they know why. To detoxify your body. Healthy habits. What are the healthy habits? You have rules for social skills. Write them out. You have your television rules. Television rules. Yes, you have children who are always watching television from morning till night. Do you have rules guiding your television? Do you have certain channels they should not watch? These are the things you put in place. When are they allowed to watch television? Now, let me tell you how to build your structure. For example, like the teenager that the parents said will always burn food. One of the things I taught them was have phone time, have TV time. TV time and cooking time cannot clash. No. If it clash, you are still going to burn food. No matter how much you say, no, today I'm not going to burn food, you are going to burn the food. You know why? Because when the food is on, television is ongoing, and you tell yourself, okay, let me watch this scene, I'll go to the kitchen. From watching these scenes, maybe that is when suspense will occur. There's climax. From watching this scene, you don't know when you get carried away. And before you know what is happening, it is when there's fire in the kitchen, or you are perceiving the smell of a burning food, that you realize, oh my God. So phone and TV, they are not going to meet at all when you are cooking. One of the things I used to achieve this is I tell my children, when you are cooking, you stay in the kitchen. So as you are cooking, you are cleaning up. You just brought out a plate, right? And remove something from the plate. Your food is on fire, wash that plate. There's oil spill on the ground, your food is on fire, wipe up the oil spill. There's water spill on the floor, on the counter, sop it up. You know, get yourself busy while in the kitchen. Another thing I went extra to do was to get egusi. You know, melon seeds. So what we do is when you're in the kitchen, you're peeling it. So you are there. You are not carried away. You are not distracted. You are within the kitchen. You pay attention to what you are cooking. Of course, except it's a kind of food that you can easily time. Maybe like in the mornings when they are going to school, it's okay, I just put my rice on fire. Let me quickly go and bathe. That is a different ball game. I put my rice on fire, let me go and bathe. I quickly bathe and I come back to check if my rice is cooked. If my rice is not cooked, I know that my rice will be cooked in the next 5 minutes. Then I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay there with my rice. You know, so you are cooking something that requires your attention every split second. You don't have. You stay there. You are not leaving that place. You are cooking stew. You are cooking soup. You stay there. Porridge. Those things that require you to be there. You stay there with them. You are not going anywhere. As you have something, or you are frying plantain, as you have it on fire, you are cleaning up. Clean up. You scoop your pancake batter into your pan. Clean up the place. By the time you are done cleaning up, the thing is on fire. You know, the thing on fire is getting ready. Okay, that is that. So you have TV rules. Another rule you can have for TV is you want your kids to read. TV can be a reward. You can structure your home in such a manner that things your children enjoy are rewards. You want to watch television, you want to play game on the phone, it's fantastic. How is it going to happen? You have your chores to do. You have like a child that doesn't like to read, that the parents want him to read. It's okay. You get a book, You say, okay, you are going to read a chapter every day. You are not going to overwhelm the child. No, you are going to make it fun and enjoyable for the child. You read a chapter every day. After reading one chapter every day, you make a summary of it, so that in the evening, during our time together, you can share what you learned, and you can probably teach me what you learned. So after reading that chapter and making a summary of it, you go and watch your television. No reading, no summary, no TV for you. Or better still, the child you want to learn you want to do hands-on, you can begin to get different materials. If I go downstairs and show you my guest room, it is littered with cartons, all sorts of manners of cartons. We buy a pack of noodles, the carton is there. We buy a pack of pasta, the carton is there. And coincidentally or luckily, I'm always buying things in packs. At least the cost is fairer when you buy things in pack. So almost everything that comes in pack, I buy in pack, so that we can actually minimize or maximize or minimize the cost or maximize the cost, or how they say it. So you go there, you see different cartons there. Now this is because I actually have having nursing creativity in them. So you will not see them 24 hours watching television. There are other things. In fact, they have the time they watch television. If it's holiday, they have time frame for television. They can't watch television from morning to night. Even when they have finished their chores and all of that, they can't watch television from morning to night. They need to go out and play. Because the truth of the matter is, the skills your child will need to navigate the life tomorrow is not in front of television. Like I said, they are practical. They need to learn them hands-on. So if you leave them in front of television or playing game, they will learn a lot of skills. Like my children on Saturdays, they play game a lot. After a while, they drop the phone and they go and do whatever they want to do. They can go and play. They can go and play with their pets. They can go and play ball or anything. They just go and do physical activity that will teach them practical skills. So your television, you can use it as a reward. Finish what you're supposed to do and watch television. You don't finish, you don't watch television. It's up to you. Like I always say, it is your choice. Every choice has a consequence. You have a choice. When you make your choice, you are indirectly picking your consequence. Then you have phone rules also. These are all in our structure. Phone rules, you have be responsible. When you get a structure guide, you are going to get it. You have mealtime rules. How do you want your kids to behave while they are eating? You want them to eat on the floor? You want them to just eat anywhere? Or you just want them to be more civilized and eat properly on the dining table? You have bathroom rules, not a rule where your child goes to the bathroom, comes back, and the bathroom is all messed up without flushing. Who does the flushing? So you have bathroom rules. Then you have my visitor and I. Like I tell my kids, one of my rules, my visitor and I's rule is that they have no business in the visitors' rooms. When you have a visitor, you have no business in the visitors' room. You don't check the visitors' bags. You don't say, what did you buy for me? Children are fond of doing this. When someone comes visiting them, the next thing is, what did you buy for me, or what did you bring for me? When you said that, what if the visitor doesn't have anything to give you? They didn't come with anything, right? If you are still following me, please click the like button or the love button, and so that more people can get to see this video. What if the visitor didn't buy anything for you? You are making them feel guilty. What if they genuinely don't have to buy something for you? You are making them feel guilty. So these are our rules. You don't go to their rooms. You have no business in the visitor's room. And I tell my visitors, especially except maybe adults, relatives, I've known for a while adult relatives, then they are different. But if it's maybe cousins, those extended families, I always tell them from the start that when I was in Lagos, we had our rules. My visitors' room had rules on the wall. For example, had basic rules that you wear belts, you tie belts, not sagging. You don't wear bomb shorts around my house parading. As a girl, you just wear pants or those very short bomb short parading. I don't like it. I'm not comfortable with it. So these are simple rules we have as visitors, and my children have their TV channels they watch. I don't watch random channels because I know I have children who may bump into them. So you don't watch random channels in my house. We have specified channels we watch. My children don't. Even my phone is very, very sane. My phone is completely sane. Yet My children, you cannot see my child. I see parents say, the other day I saw a parent and I said, I'm the only one in this world that doesn't password my phone. And she said that she password her phone because of her children. They're always with her phone. My children don't come to my phone without my permission. It's not possible. It's just a rule right from time. It wasn't even a rule. That's talking about consistency. They pick my phone. I say, no, you don't come to my phone without my permission. You come to my phone when you have a genuine reason. Oh, maybe dad is not around, you want to speak with daddy, or mommy is not around, you want to speak with mommy, you come to my phone. Then maybe you have an assignment you want to do, you come to my phone. You have something you want to talk to your friend, you come to my phone. That is it. You just don't pick my phone. It's not a toy. Nah. They have their phones they use. Even with their phones they have that they use, it's for a reason. Online classes, they want online courses, mentorship classes. That is why they have a phone. So they don't come to the phone randomly. So as a visitor in my house, you don't give your phone to my children. No. Don't, even if they say, oh, can I play with your phone? Is a no. You don't give my phone to your children. You don't give your phone to my children. Nah, is a rule. So your visitor, you need to have basic rules for you. And you know, visitors, it's not as if, like a lot of time, people can just send random messages to you. It's not like it's not like you are someone who takes who is into certain things. People can send videos to you of maybe when someone is like ritual cleaning everywhere. Someone can send such a video to you, you know, like child sexual abuse everywhere. Someone can send such a video to you. Even someone can send pornographic video to you, you know, just randomly or by mistake or somehow, you know. So they can send it to you, or you can be in a group, and before you know what is happening, it's your gallery, and you don't want your children. And maybe there are some conversations you have not reached a certain extent with your children. Like there was a video training of a woman giving birth, for example. You have not laid the right foundation to teach your children that, and someone just sends it to you, and your child sees it in the phone, and they can't wrap their head around it. I remember someone sharing in our free group that the neighbor, when she was much younger, the friend told her that the mom told her that women give birth through their vagina, and she was wondering, the vagina is too small, can you give birth? And for a long time she couldn't wrap her head around it. That was because if mother did not lay the foundation, the parents had not laid the foundation for her to receive such information. So the information just came and it was too big for her. It was too big for her, and for a long time it kind of, should I say, traumatized her. For a long time, it put her in a bad place. So because of that, as a visitor in my house, you don't show my children your phone. It's a rule. So you have that basic rule. Of course, my children also know that you are not allowed to go through visitors' phones. You don't go through their bags. You don't ask them what they buy for you. You know, if we have neighbors and they send on an errand, you must come and tell your parents, oh, mommy, this person wants this from me. And if you have visitors, they want you to get them something, you still come and tell me, because you didn't buy anything in the house, right? So they are not yours, they are mine. So you don't have a right to just give my thing to my visitors. So that is it. You need to create your structure around that. Another thing you need to do is money rules. Money. I see some families a lot. Everybody has their rules. Like I always say, it depends on what your values and your goals are, your visions are. Your vision is, you see some children in their homes, once they have a visitor and it gives them money, the very next thing, they are going to the next shop to buy something. I'm not judging, but for me, that is not how we operate. You know, the children, they have their own money, they get money, they drop it, they keep it there. So what do you do with money? What are your rules with money? For example, some parents, they pay their children. Every now and then, they give their children some pocket monies. Oh, thank you so much, man. I'll wrap up soon. It's over an hour. They give their children some pocket money. What do these children do with their pocket money? You know, you just have some basic rules. And like today, I was telling my children, I used to do something before. If you don't fix your room, you hire me. You have pocket money, you hire me and you pay me. So this morning, I went to their room. They didn't fix their room, and I told them that we are returning back to our rule, because for a while you have been consistent, and after a while you stopped. I reminded you again, and it's like I'm not going to remind you again. So what we are going to do now is this, simple as that. Thank you so much, doctor, thank you so much. Now what we are going to do again, we are going to go back to our system of, if you do not fix your room, you hire me to fix your room. As simple as that. I'm ready to be hired, so I can actually do some good things with the money. So what do they do with the money? You have system around rules. Your children cannot just go randomly. For example, some children, oh, mommy, somebody has this thing, I want to buy it. Nah. I tell my children, my money is for your needs. Then if you have some things you want, then you use your money for your wants. Even at then, you teach them about money and you create a structure around it. So you create that. Then you also have okay, guided by all I've told you, you have root all these things I've talked about. I think this is just basically repetition of it. Rules that promote social skills, mealtime rules. Okay, we also have other things like family traditions. It is super important. So I was going to talk about this family traditions. As a family, you need to create a structure. Your structure must promote you must be able to leave memories. Your children grow up later and they remember you for certain things. So you need to have family traditions. Like one of the things I want also to have in the Visionary Parents Academy, we are going to start in the Visionary Parents Academy, is having a proper dining experience once in a month. You can take your children out to a very fine restaurant and have them experience that fine dining ambience and have them eat in the fine way. Use their cutlery properly, use their eating utensils properly. Or you can have it in your home, once in a month. Prepare a very fine meal, 3-course meals. Have your children come over, have your children rather gather around your table, prepare your dining area and have that experience. Teach them how to use their cutlery properly, teach them how to drink their wines properly, teach them how to just sit down, how to serve and how to be served properly. You want to have certain traditions. And of course, we also have movie nights or game nights in the Visionary Parents Academy. These are traditions. Then you also have vacations. Do you travel for Christmas? Do you save money for vacations? You also have that. Then you also have a lot of other activities, deliberate bonding activities. What do you do? On Saturdays, you take 15 minutes, 20 minutes. You do certain things with your children. Have family traditions. You also have your family calendar where everybody's special day is noted. They can even know their friend's special day. They can know their siblings, their extended relatives' special days where they remember, oh, today is grandma's birthday, let's put a call through. You call grandma. Today is Auntie XYZ's birthday, let's call Auntie XYZ. You teach them. Now, one of the things is one of the things I want to nurture in my children is a lovable personality. And we all know how people, oh, I just joined. Oh, you may need to go back to the beginning, ma. Give us a like to know you. Give us like us or anything. If you learn anything, please just drop it in the comment section. You want your children. I want my children to have this lovable personality. So one of the things I always tell them is, apart from being kind to people, one way to be kind to people is remember people's special days, special occasions. For example, remember somebody's birthday. It makes them feel good. Things like that. So you can have a family calendar. Always encourage them. Oh, someone has a win. Congratulate the person on their win. Even if you went into the competition with the person, you didn't win, congratulate them. These are things that make you a lovable person. Imagine somebody is at home, you just remember, oh, it's my friend's birthday. I've not heard from her in a long while, but I know it's her birthday. Let me just call her and wish her a happy birthday. You pick up your phone, you call a friend of yours. Oh, I want to wish you happy birthday. It makes them feel so special. It makes them feel seen. It makes them feel remembered, feel important. So family traditions, you also want to create a family calendar. In the Visionary Parents Academy, we are going to share it today. Your family calendar. I've created a template a long time ago. I was waiting for today to share it. So in the family calendar, we are going to put everything. You can put your special days for your special activities. Maybe you can have your pillow talks once a day. You can have it once a week. You can put it there. On Saturday, 4 p.m. is our pillow talk time. You have it there. Then you remember, okay, our wedding anniversary, you put it there. Your children's day, you put it there. Every special day you want to remember, your children's birthday, your parents' birthday, that's your children's grandparents' birthday, your siblings' birthday, their cousin's birthday, anything at all you can remember, just have it filled there. So every morning, like this is our wall in my family, our inspiration wall. If you can look at it, there are a lot of things there. Every morning, any child or before you go to bed, a child goes there to look at it. Mommy, today is this particular event. Okay, fine. what can we do about it? Or it can even be days after. Check the event we have for so and so day. Let's begin to make preparations towards it. Family tradition, just teaching your children how to plan, teaching them how to remember others, celebrate others. We are also building memories for them and all of that. So family traditions, I'll share a template, my family calendar in the Visionary Parent Academy, so you can use. You also have reading plans for your children. Like you have reading plans, you have Bible study plans, you have a reading self-help book, reward charts. If you choose your reward system, they're all going to be in your structure. What reward system do you use? You create your charts, daily habits for kids. These are all in my parenting structure guide. You will get it when you get in the Visionary Parent Academy. If you're in the academy, you want this guide, you can just pay 2,000 naira and you get this guide. Okay, it's supposed to be more than that, but I can give you the guide, the plain one, and the template. The template will guide you. For example, you are going to go to the template and see my own guide and use it to create your own guide. I'll give you the plain one and I'll give you the field one. The field one is mine. I'll give you both of them. You'll use it to create your own guide. So this is it. So your structure now simply means that you are going to sit back now. I've got a lot of value this afternoon. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. So you are going to sit back now. You are going to sit back now and you are going to create your daily plan. First of all the things you want to see in your family, all the things, your vision, take them and break them down into everyday practical behaviors. Practical. For example, someone said he wants the child to, the parents' vision and goals we use and values, said she wants the child to be able to read books away from school books, right? So what are you going to do? Now take your daily planner, create a daily planner. I have one I'm going to share with you, the Visionary Parent Academy. You can create one yourself. I don't know if you get it online the way I did mine, I don't know, but you can just, from your wake up time, every single hour, create it. Like if I was doing a pre-recorded, I would have probably shared it here. You wake up 5 to 6, what do you do? 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9, 9 to 10, till when you go to bed, like 10 to 11, what are the things you do? For those hours, even for your child, what are the things your child does too? So you know that each time you are allocating to each time is actually enough. Each time you are allocating to an item is actually enough for your child to do that thing. For example, you can't fill in sleep time. Your child is away in school. You can't fill in time your child is away in school. You can just put that, that Z they put to put something like to blank something, or you can just write in there, taking, or out of whatever, just put it there. So when your child now comes back from school, how long do they stay on their homework? For example, your child my children get back from school they close 4 o'clock. They get back from school 4:20 or 4:30. When they get back from school, what do? I deliberately make sure they have just 2 pairs of socks, and they have 5 days in a week, which means they have to wash socks 3 times, right? So they spend like 5-10 minutes washing their socks. When they come back, they want to eat a light meal. They eat a light meal. They have homework. They do their homework. When they come back from school, most of the time, they meet. When they come back from school, I prepare meals for them back from school. But morning to school, they prepare their meals. But most of the time, like yesterday, I didn't prepare meals. I didn't prepare their meal. That was because the meal they were going to eat was noodles. They wanted to eat noodles for dinner, so I didn't prepare it for them. They prepared it themselves. So sometimes when they prefer something else, okay, most of the time I prepare the meals when it will take a long time. Maybe I want to boil rice, I want to boil beans, I want to make fufu or those kind of things. I prepare it for them when it take a long time. But when it's short meals, maybe they want to fry plantain, they want to eat pasta, they just want to eat noodles, or those kind of, or they want to eat pancake, those kind of small quick meals, they prepare it by themselves. So when I prepare meals for them, they have enough time in the evenings. So by the time they wash their uniforms, they do their thing, they eat their dinner, they still have a lot of time. Most times you see them, they are doing their homework while they are doing it. I don't try to interfere in all of that, because as long as they're doing their homework, they do it very well. They can multitask. Good for them to do their homework. So by 6:30, you realize that they are super free. They have nothing to do. So by 6:30, I will tell them that they would have bathed and ready by 6:30. So they do revision. We do try to do revision every day. They do revision. After that revision, they will not do their revision till 8 o'clock. Then 8 o'clock, they pick their self-help book. like my son's birthday was December 16th. I got I think six habits, six something, six by Sin, Steve Covey's son. It's not effective. It's not effective people. No, it's not 7 habits of highly effective things. No, it's another book that he wrote. I think 6 things you should not do or you should not do as a teenager, something like that. I got it for him, and so he's been reading it gradually, gradually. He has read it before. He's reading it again. So by the time is that 8:30, they pick their self-help book and they read. My children are such that it's either they are playing music background, or they are reading before they go to bed. They said they cannot read if they don't play music or they don't read. So they are such that, so that time they try to read self-help book, they just learn one or small two things. They don't summarize it. But if it's during the holiday, they have a time, an hour long, for them to read self-help book. Then they can summarize and come back and teach me what they've learned. But during school days, it's not realistic for them to go back and summarize it. So they just read, and maybe in the week when we are talking, they just refer to one or two things they read. So you cannot incorporate that into it. And what makes it a structure is you doing it every single day, every single day. Now, one of the things I'm trying to introduce to them is watching news, a lot, watching news. So we just started this week, and we didn't even do it today. We didn't remember to do it today. Now this is the thing. But because it's just new, I did not remember that for us to do it today. Something, hopefully when they come back from school now, I will be able to do it. Okay, how can you get the template? If you're in the Visionary Parent Academy, you will get the template for free. But if you're not in the Visionary Parent Academy, you can just reach me on WhatsApp. You get this for 2,000 naira. I will give you for 2,000 naira. So if you see it, you realize that it's something that is way more than that. It simplifies everything for you. You get it for 2,000 naira. I'll give you the template and the blank sheet and the field sheet. Use the other one as a guide for the template. Okay, so like I told myself, okay, in the morning because they always get ready before school time. We leave the house 7:10, but they get ready before 7. So what I'll do is from that 7 to 7:10, we just put on the television. They just watch. Listen, one thing enters their head, and in the evenings too, they cannot take from 6:30 to 7 o'clock to watch a little bit of news. After that, from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, they do their revision, and 8 o'clock to 8:30, they can do their self-help. They can actually go to bed. They go to bed from 8:30. So they read their self-help book until 8 o'clock or 8:30, or they can choose not to read and go to bed. The idea is for them to just go to bed early so that they can wake up 5 o'clock early. Now this is it. And what makes it a structure is the fact that you are consistent. That is how you get results. If you are consistent, you go over it consistently. It is how your children are going to get used to it. The drama will stop. You are not going to have them you're not going to be like you're not going to have to repeat it over and over again. You're not going to have to fight over it. Like, we have reward and consequences also. That is another thing we need to structure. How do you structure that? You know the behaviors, the things your children do that get you upset, right? You are going to sit them down and talk about them. These are the things you do that are not okay, that don't align with our values. Now, why do these things upset you? Not necessarily upset you. Why do you want to correct these behaviors? Because you have a vision. You know that these behaviors will not lead to your vision. Let me give you a practical example. For example, I always teach my children honesty. Now, honesty is a value for you. It's a value for you because you want to raise children who have integrity. You want to raise children who will not be rotting in jail for using biro to change the figure on the figure, right? That is why, because you want to raise happy, successful, global impact makers. And you know that by the time a child of yours, God forbid bad thing, is rotting in jail for using biro to change figure, or for taking what does not belong to him, he will not be able to be a global impact maker, right? That is your vision. It is because of that vision of wanting to have your child as a global champion that you have a value of honesty. Do you get me? Now, because you have a value of honesty, it is why you want to nip it right now. You have a consequence for dishonesty. So your consequences are not just random. That is why you have a consequence for dishonesty. So it simply means that each time your child takes what is not his, there is a consequence for it. And that consequence, we also have a material, my family constitution. We have that material, and that material will also help you see a lot of the behaviors. I didn't go into misbehaviors because we'll come back and talk about that another time in the Visionary Parent Academy. Maybe that's what we'll talk about next week. That is topic for next week. Because that is what you have, that behavior has a consequence. So the fact that your consequence is your consequence, each time that behavior occurs, your consequence is your consequence. So your child already knows that, okay, if I do this, this is what will happen. They already understand your consequence. That is what makes it a structure. It's like somebody, you steal in Nigeria, you go to jail. So the jail going is a consequence. If you're not ready to go to jail, do not steal. As long as you've stolen, you are telling them that telling to the Nigerian government that you are ready to go to jail. So you can also create a structure around behaviors, expectations, and a lot more. We are taking this conversation further in the Visionary Parent Academy. Bring your questions there if you have questions. If you have questions, you can ask now. If you don't have questions now, you are too good, ma. Remain blessed. Thank you so much, ma. Oh, I love your teaching a lot. All the guide you gave, I take them as they are. I don't ask. Oh, really? Really? That means we have the same vision then. Yeah, we want to raise global impact maker. We have the same vision. I tell my children that, see, that is what God wants me to train you to be. However, I cannot, you have a role to play, so you have to play your role. All right, thank you so much, ma. I absolutely appreciate. Okay, I absolutely appreciate this comment. Okay, that's about it for today because it's getting too long. So remember, in the Visionary Parent Academy, you have a lot to benefit. You need to join us so that you can benefit all you want to benefit. We have emotions mastering class coming next month. You can be in the Visionary Parent Academy and just enjoy with us for that 1 month if you would like to. You can join the emotions mastering class. I promise that it is going to be super empowering and transformational. We also have parenting on your knees from next month. It is free. However, we have a booklet you are going to buy. The booklet is 3,000 naira. Buy it and you join us. I will say a prayer for our children every single day. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have a question, please do well to ask. Like I said, this is a lot. Creating your parenting structure is a lot. I've told you the basic things you need to do. And I'm sure with this, you can create your parenting structure and run with it. Now, remember, you have a vision. Your structure should be what will bring your vision into reality. Your structure should be what will bring your vision into reality and not just some random things you pick on social media or some random things you want to do. Your structure should be such that will bring your vision into reality. Thank you so much and have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.